in heavier traveling light. There's one thing that's right wherever I go. That's where I am.
Cheers.
You know how long I've been dying to have a beer? This weekend to have a beer in the studio?
No. I assumed...
About 5 minutes. We're having fun, huh?
I assumed you always had a beer in here.
No, but when I do, I've had a couple of drinks. I also have like 50 cans of espresso martinis. I've got tons of old fashions, Mai Tais. I got like 10 bottles of booze.
So you're either going hard caffeine or like hard liquor.
What do you mean?
Well,
I don't understand the
cocktails or the espressos.
Martinis.
Martinis.
It's espresso martinis.
Oh,
sorry.
so it's all alcohol.
It's all alcohol.
I see what you're saying.
I was very confused. I was like, espresso martini? That's alcohol too. I was very confused. Oh, I screwed up. See, I took one sip and now I'm going to be hammered by the time it's over.
Oh, get ready for some
5 times.
slurs. There's going to be some slurs thrown about.
Slurring. Not slurs.
Not slurs. If you're slurring slurs...
Wait till tonight. I hope you came to the show in Jersey this weekend.
Come to New Brunswick. This was great. Last week we did an episode without you.
I noticed.
Emma and I. We tried. We're like, let's see what it feels like.
I was getting married. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I know. No. Of course. And this week we're doing one without Emma because I'm out here doing shows in New Brunswick. You're coming with, and you got married. So congratulations. Look at that. Look at this
thing.
Look at that.
She's big.
That looks like almost brass knuckles.
That's what I wanted to do is
like
if
double?
If I'm going to have to, if this is going to prevent me from being who I really am, it's got to hurt, you know? I need it to weigh me down so I can just remember. Although, first day at the coffee shop, my neighborhood, 2 girls there, they're new, never spoken to me. First thing they say, I walk in, the girl goes, I like that shirt. And then she goes, how tall are you? And I was like, oh, baby, we're starting.
Wow.
And the power of the ring, I always thought it was a joke. I always thought that was guys trying to trap you into getting married. Like, no, I screwed up. You screw up too. You so much attention when you have a ring on, but it was immediate, like day one.
Wow.
These two have never said 2 words to me.
I have never had that. That did not happen with me.
Really?
I didn't notice an uptick or a downtick. It's always been very
well. That's the only one
sublime
so far. So.
Yeah. Also, I don't remember anyone ever hitting on me after a show unless I was like blatantly like, I'm single. I'm single, please. You know,
I'm single. Please is such that one word is takes it to a completely different level.
I mean, we've seen comics do sets like that where they're not saying those words, but they are saying those words in just the material they're doing. It's like, wow, this whole set, it was like an audition for like a dating app. You know, back in the 90s when they used to have dating videos and you'd put in the VHS and you'd rewind through. You're like, I want to meet Mitch.
I'm Mike, and this mustache sucks. That's what they all should say. What's the worst attempt you had at when you were single to try to hit on somebody? Do you remember something you said where you go, oh, God? I ask because I have one that sticks with me from college.
What'd you say?
I told a girl that I had a crush on. I said, and this was true, I said, oh, I just got out of a really long-term relationship. I don't know how to be single anymore. Pause. Would you show me? And in my mind, I was like,
this is killer.
I was like, she's going to rip my pants off right here in the back of this restaurant. There's no way she doesn't just immediately go after me. And she went, and then just kind of walked away. And I was like, she'll be back.
Wow.
She was not back.
She was not back. No. I don't have anything like that. I've always been so bashful that all my bad attempts at trying to hit on someone all involve me just walking up going, hello. And then it just downhill from there. Like, this actually goes in good because Trump and Elon just had their split.
What?
And, like, you ever have a friend that makes you, like, they're so different from who you are, you try to be like them?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I have a friend Julian who I'm still friends with, great dude, but he's like this jacked guy.
Sure.
So I remember we were in Vegas and it was like we were in our early 20s and he's like, let's go hit on some girls. I'm like, we're at the pool. I'm like, how do you do that? And then he goes up to these girls and I'm like, excuse me, can I borrow some sunscreen?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, absolutely. And he takes his shirt off. It's just muscles everywhere. And then he's just slathering up his muscles with this lotion. And then he comes back and he's like, here are their 3 phone numbers. And I was like, and he's like, just do that. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have the same effect.
Yeah, it was going to be a little bit different. Hey, do you mind getting some of that lotion on my back hair? Hey, I'm gonna walk away from you, but still face you because the embarrassment below my neck is one for the books. That's not hitting on women. That's just showing them your shirt.
Yeah, that was just showing them your great
I feel like
physique.
hitting on women requires some sort of skill or aptitude.
Yeah, talking.
Yeah.
And I can talk on stage.
Spitting game.
Yeah.
But
spitting.
This is not spitting game.
No.
And good for you. Good for you. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I can talk on stage, but good Lord, in person, there's... I don't know. I'm so bad. But he was the friend that I would hang out with. I remember one time we went to like a college party. I say that because I didn't go to college. So we actually, neither of us were in college at the time. We found out about a party and we went to it.
Living in the dorms, which is weird. What are we doing on...
What's your major?
Badgers A. This is weird.
What's your major? Oh, I work at a retirement home. That's my job. But no, I remember we went in and we went straight to a party and I had this weird confidence because I watched him just like have no regard and he wasn't rude to anybody. He would just take his shirt off and then women would come around. And so I remember one time I just went into a group of girls and I just went, hello. And then they all looked at me like, what? And I was like,
goodbye.
Bye. And then I just backed out of there. I was always so bad at it.
Hello.
That's why, once again, I will say Emma's not here, so she's not here to refute that. She had to make the first introduction to me.
Sure.
Because there is no way. And I know you guys believe it. Look at me. Look at her. I just told you how I talk to women. Do you really think I saw her across the bar and then just beelined it over? And
more
went,
importantly,
hi?
Look at photos of him when he met her. Scroll back a few swipes and then look at Emma and go, what happened to you? Where you saw that guy and you went, this is him. I apologize. That was rude, but also that happened recently. I was looking for a photo or so. I don't know what I was doing.
You saw an old...
I was like, what?
Yeah.
But the glow up, buddy. Big glow up.
It's so funny because when it's you don't see it. You're like, what? That's just another version of me. Sure. Same good-looking guy. Mm-hmm. That was, I that was a look, dude. That was my look.
Listen, if you scroll back on my Instagram, I used to have a beard almost down to my belly button.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was tough. And then I would like take a hot comb and like straighten it so it was even longer. Yeah. It was despicable.
That's so gross. And you're like, where are the women?
Buddy,
where are the women?
You know what's worse?
What?
Is that it worked. Women would be like, oh, you're so my type, I'd be like, ew. Like that was a turnoff to me. I'm like, that's disgusting. Like, do you see me?
Yeah, that's someone who
especially back then I was like 70 pounds heavier.
Yeah, that's
beard down to my tummy. But I was on a TV show that they asked me to keep growing it, so it was like,
oh, what TV show?
It was called The Game. We never talked about this?
I think we did.
Maybe,
Wait, The Game?
It was a football show on
yeah, we did talk about
Black Entertainment Television, which is true. I was the goofy white guy.
This is another one of those where every few episodes you drop a little thing you used to do, and you were like, what?
I could have swore we've talked about that before.
Maybe we have. I also have a terrible memory. So
could be it. Yeah,
there's a good chance that we talked about it, and I don't remember. But
anything's possible at this point.
Anything.
But that's why I had it all the way down to there.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Pig level. But women were still into it. I think I just have the tall advantage. Like it's not. I've done nothing.
Works.
I've earned none of that.
Height really works. I didn't even realize I was short until Steven Rogers,
who's much shorter than you, by the way.
I don't think that much. Shorter.
Really?
I think like.
Well, you don't come across as short though. You don't have short energy. Steven Rogers is short energy.
I don't have short energy because I grew up with a tiny mom who just was like, "You're so tall," because compared to her, like I would always grab things off the top. She's like, "Can you please?" She's legitimately, my mom's like 4'9". She's a very tiny woman.
That's a little lady.
Yeah, and so she always like fluffed me up at home of like, "You're so tall." That's the wrong word.
I would say.
Yeah, you're so tall. So I never had short person's mentality. And then all my friends are taller. Like I got a buddy your height, and then my other friend's like 6 foot something. And it's weird when I would see my eyes to their eyes, and I'm like, yeah, we're about the same height. And then I'd see a photo of us together. I'm like, oh, I'm a lot shorter.
Why am I holding his hand all the way like this? Why am I holding his hand?
But yeah,
so many questions.
So one time after a show, Steven Rogers is like, he was talking about his set or whatever, and he goes, you don't really talk about being short. And I go, yeah. And he's like, how come? And I was like, I guess I'm in denial because I just found out right now.
I would have guessed you were short. You don't give off short person stuff.
That is one of the comments I get a lot after a set when people meet and greet thing. People are like, I thought you were taller. And I was like, but the only thing they can compare me to when you watch a set is like, I go to them and I go, how tall do you think stools are? Because that's the only thing you can compare a comic to.
Because you can lean on it like this, standing up.
Did you think they were like bar stools that were like 4 feet high? Like, because then, yes. I noticed that I have the posture of a tall person with low confidence. I've noticed that because I have a natural slouch, and sometimes you see tall people with lack of confidence kind of try to be the height of other people.
You also don't walk around a lot on stage.
That's true.
So you can't like go and see like a ficus and go, well, that's a tiny ficus. This guy doesn't get any. There's no, you're very in the center, and that's your only frame of reference.
I'm going to put in my writer that I want small like window plants on stage and a lower stool, like a footstool, like something you'd put your foot on while someone
that Kevin Hart puts, because you look at like Grown Little Man or some of his early specials.
Yeah.
The lights in the background are huge. And I think that he did that on purpose to emphasize his shortness, because that's so much about being a little guy is a part of his thing. And I genuinely think that happened. Like the mic stand was a little bit higher than it should be. There was a very, very calculated, which I think is cool to like think that far into it. Yeah.
Good for him for not having a Napoleon complex.
Yeah, for sure.
Being, angry about it or
He's
whatever.
one of those ones where it's like him, Dane Cook, where it's like people like, ugh. It's like, what, you hate the fact that they're hilarious?
Yeah,
and you just, I'm sorry, you don't like the fact that he does something that you can't do?
Does Kevin Hart get a lot of hate?
I think just because he's super famous and rich.
Oh.
But I laugh at everything he does. I'm sorry.
I feel embarrassed to say this. I don't think I've ever watched any of his specials.
Oh, man.
Somehow I've just missed out. I think I watched a little bit of the one he filmed in his living room during the pandemic, but of course that's going to be weird. It's in his living room at the pandemic. It's probably not going to be the best to watch, but yeah, I've never really watched his stand-up, but I've seen him in movies. I think he's funny.
No, his stand-up is I haven't seen much of the later stuff, but this early stuff.
His early stuff is really
like first
killer.
Two specials is Grown Little Man, and then there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, but both are genuinely laugh out loud funny.
I assume if there's that many people to go see this guy, and I know comedy's hot right now, but he had big audiences before this latest comedy
in arenas.
wave. Yeah, before.
Yeah.
Not like now where there's so many arena acts.
Right.
But he was doing it back then. You had to be funny. You can pick on Dane Cook. There was a time where he was a crusher.
Still can't touch it.
Still, no. I mean, we can argue about Vicious Circle, about, I feel like they were, management or whatever was pushing him to do too much too soon. But you go watch or listen to Harmful If Swallowed, like some of that early stuff. Those were funny bits.
His Comedy Central in the tank top.
Great.
Defined my high school experience.
It defined comedy for about 5 years there.
Yeah.
Like that was stand up.
Never made me think I could do that. Like I didn't start imitating him, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm into I'll say this about crowd work too, because it gets a lot of flack. And now I feel like there's like a little bit of backlash against it. Not just amongst comics, though, but amongst audiences. Because comics will always take a dump on whatever's popular. But I mean amongst audiences. I see little chirp-ups of like, oh, it's nice to hear material instead of just crowd work. I'm not against it. I think it takes real talent. Some of the people that are good at it. I just don't like it. Like to watch. I don't care about you talking to this person. I just want to hear about you and what you have to say.
I don't know. I think if you're good at something, then who cares?
Right.
Like if you're good at crowd work, do it. Let's watch it for hours and hours and hours.
Yes.
But if you're bad at it, you're just like, I don't want to name names, but there's certain comics out there, Shmeev and Schmoshmetter, that there's, they'll just be like, oh, I don't think the Jews should exist. What was that? Did you say something out there? Like it's all set up stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I don't care about that person. So there's like 2 people in this business that have treated me very poorly. And
that was one of them.
Well, I didn't name names, but
no, but I pieced it together.
You got it. Yeah.
I met him. We did a comedy competition together, and I had heard so much negative stuff
against him, or was he in charge of the competition?
No, he was a part of it. Really? So it wasn't his. It was the Seattle comedy competition.
Oh, he was like a contestant.
Yeah. This is 2013.
And right before he became a comedy contestant overlord.
Yes. Yeah, this was before. And
give me another beer. I'll tell you the second person.
We're cutting loose. What's the Mark Norman Marill podcast that we might be drunk?
We might be drunk.
We might be buzzed, everybody.
Oh, I have so much booze. Let's go. Cancel the show.
We're not making it.
Let's just Uber to the show.
It's only going to be $150.
It's not crazy. It's not that bad. It's not that crazy considering how long it would take in an Uber on a Friday night.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's how long. That's what my Uber cost from JFK to the hotel. Yeah, it was insane. And it took so long, I should have taken the subway, but I was trying to whatever. It was a mistake. Also, last night, I wanted to Uber from the Lower East Side back up to here.
Forget it.
It was like $150 again, and I was like, how is this the same price? So I just took the subway.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. You took the subway in New York.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind taking the subway.
Guy's been in San Diego for 6 minutes. Subway.
Here's what happened. All right, we're going to change
is there a good burrito close by I can suffice myself? I don't know what they do in San Diego.
We'll circle back to comedians that were trashing.
Yeah.
Last night, I went out.
Hofstadter competition. That's what we got to get back to.
Yes.
So we don't forget.
Yeah, we won't forget. We'll circle back. Last night, I went out with Millhouse, and we went to Scars, and we got
great pizza.
A couple. I was starving, so I got 2 of them. And he showed up a little late, so I went to a bar and I got a Lagunitas IPA, which I'm not an IPA. I can have one. And then we went to Andy Fiore's birthday thing, and I got another Lagunitas there. That's 2 IPAs. It hurts my tummy.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'd put into IPAs, but I get 2 of them along with all that bread that I ate at Scars, and it was like someone stabbed me in the gut, and I was like, I got to get out of here. I had a headache, travel day, whatever. And so I just wanted to Uber home. I'm like, let me see what it costs to Uber back. And it was like $120, $130. I'm like, we'll take this. I'll extend my headache and my tum-tum ache for if you're going to charge me that much to get back to the hotel.
Beer and pizza that's never been a good combo for me because it's bread and bread.
Right.
I'm going to have some bread and drink some bread.
Yeah. I can do a Pilsner. That's why I got this one. American Light. Samuel Adams, everybody.
American Light. Elon. I can only drink IPAs and like dark beer. Like Guinnesses.
Really?
I can't taste it. I can't taste it.
I'll give you the non-taste. Yeah. But I don't like the way that makes me feel.
Oh, it makes me feel awful.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel great. Like bad, good. I used to be an IPA bourbon guy. Sip of bourbon, drink an IPA. It was just pure hell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just next to a globe with a cigar.
But I am on 2 blood pressure medications and an injection to make me skinny. But I think it was a fine lifestyle. I don't think I did anything wrong.
You know what I don't understand? I have buddies that are losing weight, but they're not. They don't have the insurance money to get the injections, so they're doing it just like cutting. Like they don't drink beer anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, I got my buddy Dane, who I call you're East Coast Dane, by the way. He's like, I don't drink beers anymore. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, give me a whiskey. And I was like, okay.
Oh, good for you, pal. Or what? Hold up.
So he only drinks hard liquor now, and now he's even trying to stay away from bourbons and stuff, so he's like drinking tequila and vodka. But then I Googled the calorie count. They're all about 100 calories a shot.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Well, it's the sugars, I think.
Oh, there's more sugar in bourbon.
More sugar. No, in beer.
Oh, in beer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I get
and
that.
bourbon, probably.
Oh, okay. That's where I thought all the hard alcohols were about the same.
I think it's just because this makes you feel more like crap.
Yeah. It weighs you down.
It does, but
It weighs you down.
it's not gonna stop me.
So what did Steve Hofstetter do to you? Because let me say my thing first, because he's.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean,
have,
look, I've never said this out loud, so
I don't have
or
ill
like
will.
publicly. So I'll absolutely, because everything I'm saying is true from my perspective.
He's always been cool to me.
I don't want to like ruin your.
No, we don't have a relationship really, but he's always been out. When we did the competition, he and I, preliminary week, he wasn't there. The second week he came in, and so many comics were like, "Oh, this guy's showing up. I hate this guy." Blah, 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 blah. I hear all this grumbling, and so when he showed up, I was like ready. I was like waiting for him to do or say something that I'm going to be offended by, and then say something back, and it just never happened. He was like really chill and super cool, and then not super cool, but he was very nice.
Yeah.
And since then, he's like, we've had a decent relationship. Put me on some of the stuff he did.
Sure.
And he's always been cool. Never had a problem. But I've heard that a lot of other people have like opinions, business deals, whatever, that they just weren't happy with.
Yeah. Early on in my comedy life, I was working in Atlanta at the Laughing Skull Lounge, and the Laughing Skull Festival comes along. It's a competition. There's shows all over town. I'll try to keep this brief. I was in charge of a hotel show. I was like the showrunner.
Yeah.
And then I get a call from Steve saying, "Hey, I'm going to run this show tonight at the hotel because it's like a finals or a semifinals. All the judges will be there. I want to make sure it's like." He goes, "Go to this other place," and I go, "Fine, no problem." So I'm there. I get a phone call from Steve, just cursing me out. Is all the screaming on the phone? Where's all the chairs, the lights? It's all been taken down. Where is it? And I was like, it was there when I left it an hour ago. Like, there's no way. He's like, you screwed us. This festival got screwed because of you. You really put us in a position like this. Everything's messed up now because of you. And he was cursing a lot at me.
He's
like he was
reading the
going nuts.
riot
He's
act,
going at me. And I'm a year into comedy, 8 months into I'm done. Steve Hofstetter runs Skull Festival. There's a perception of him at a certain level in comedy that you think he's in charge. He's not. And so I panic because I'm like, my life's over, my career's over, I might as well quit. So there's another comic at the show that I'm running, and I go, "Hey man, can you hold this down for me? I'm gonna go run there and see what's going on."
Yeah.
I bolt to the hotel. I'm driving 1,000 miles an hour. I get there, pull in, run to the room. Everything's exactly how I left it. Everything. It's fine. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm calling, text, nothing. I'm in the lobby just like freaking out. And then I see him come out of another room and I go, "Hey, what? It's fine." And he goes, "Oh yeah, I was just in the wrong room." And then not bad enough, then he just walks away. Dude, I'm sorry, I was panicking. I took it out. Nothing.
Wow.
And then immediately at that moment I go, "Oh, that guy sucks.
Yeah.
That guy's a loser." And ever since then,
So
I've had a lot
wonder-
of bad interactions with him, but ever since then, I'm like, I have no respect for the guy.
That's a hard one to refute.
Hard one to refute.
Yeah, that's
Just calm. "Oh, yeah, no, I walked in the wrong room." That's all I needed to know.
Man, it takes me. I don't know if I've ever yelled at somebody like that. Just cussing up a store, especially
Your
in a
first
business.
instinct is to call and scream
Yeah.
rather than ask somebody,
Hey, am I in the
"Am I
wrong
in the right
room?
What- or, this can't be right. Let me go look around." No. You look in, "Where's my lights?" "You're dead." "Oh, there it is." No call back.
You stole my lights. What did he think you did?
I don't know. But I've since had many conversations with people. This is all alleged, I suppose, right, for legal reasons?
I don't think
cares?
I don't want to be. I don't think. Yeah, whatever the words are. I'll tell you. I've never had an issue with, like I said, Hofstetter. I never. You ever meet your heroes and you're like, I kind of wish I didn't?
No, but I've gone to restaurants that I always order takeout from, and then I show up physically, and I'm like, I shouldn't have ever come here. That's like my meeting my heroes. You ever order shawarma takeout all the time and it's amazing? You show up, you're like, oh, they're serving food with their feet. Like, there's always something wrong.
This was it?
That's just like, that's my meet my heroes. Where I'm like, I can't order from here anymore. It's so good at home.
That's hilarious. You're like, that's why it was good.
Yeah, because I didn't see it.
You got a little toenail zest in your Euro sandwich. Euro? Gyro?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Whatever. I'm white. Yeah, I did a show. I did a show with John Lovitz once, who I grew up, big John Lovitz fan. Loved High School High. I think it's
Great
an underrated
high school.
movie.
Like a rhinestone. Yeah.
The other night,
Fantastic.
I have a Glenn Campbell album because my management, also record label Surf Dog, put out a thing, so they gave it to me as a gift.
Shout out Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
One of the best in the biz.
And I was playing it, and I didn't know Glenn Campbell wrote Rhinestone Cowboy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's cool. And the only reason I know that song, High School High with John Lovitz.
What a great movie.
Great movie. And then I got to work with him. I featured for him at in Spokane. And I had heard stories that he's prickly. And I'd never understood what that was or what that experience was until he showed up. And first thing he did was he's like, why is there a host? And first thing he does is fires the host. And who's like a local guy. It's not like he flew in to do the gig, but fires the host. And then so now I'm just a host feature or whatever. He gives me like this long intro to read. And because it's like,
I'm aware of this intro.
Yeah, you're aware of this intro.
Yeah.
It's the intro is saying that my favorite movie is Rat Race, and then so he can come up and go.
I played Hitler.
Yeah, thanks for saying that's the movie I play in Hitler. And
I'm a Jew.
I'm Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah.
And which I saw that, and that didn't upset me at all. I was just like, oh, yeah, I would have loved to have been like, I love High School High and whatever. But the first thing he does, he fires the host. And then he starts yelling at the manager. Mind you, it's her first day managing the club. She has just been upgraded from like lead server to manager, and she was like nervous. Very sweet girl. I forget her name. And they have a couple technical issues during his set with the microphone. He yells at her so much.
From stage?
A little bit on stage, but kept it together afterwards.
Well, he's a pro.
Yes. He doesn't want the audience to think he's a dick.
No.
But then he goes backstage in the green room and just yells at her so hard. I came in on it because I went to the bathroom, and then I came back and I was like, oh. She's crying. His dog, he travels with a small dog that they had to order chicken from another restaurant and cut it up, like fresh chicken for this dog. I know it sounds like I'm making it up. This is what I remember.
Comics who travel with their animals is crazy to me.
Especially when you're like, this dog only eats chicken breast.
Liza Schlesinger travels with her dog.
There's a lot of annoying people that travel with their dogs. I'm not saying Eliza's annoying. I've never met her. There you go. I've never met this woman. But you come in with a dog from a flight, I'm going to assume you're annoying. Outside of Josh Adam Myers, who I very much enjoy the company of, and I like his dog. It's like a service animal or whatever. But all these other people with dogs, I could go with that.
Does Josh Adam Myers need a service dog because he has a deficiency where if he can't point to someone and go, "What do you do for a living?" He's got to have something there to do it, otherwise he'll just like fall out.
You know what I like about?
What's your name, puppy?
You know what I like about Josh is he is. Some people, like, he's himself the entire time.
Of course.
That's not an act up there.
Yeah.
That's who he is. I saw him at the Sky Lounge flying out one time, and he was over there just full Josh Adam Myers with the dog, the whole shebang. And I was like, whoa, this is you at 8 in the morning, too.
Yeah, I don't know him. I don't know him, but I've never heard anything but positive stuff.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Interesting guy.
Second time he's come up today in the studio.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. It's Josh Adam Myers.
JMM?
Jam. Wait.
Wow.
Was Goddamn Comedy Jam an acronym for his initials?
Goddamn Josh Adam Myers? That's great.
Oh, my God.
It has to be.
I just feel like we watched Big Lebowski and found out Donnie didn't exist. That's the mind blow. Oh,
wait, what?
Wait, did Donnie? Have you heard that?
Oh, is this a theory?
It's a.
It's not like a confirmed theory.
It's a new fan theory that Jeff Bridges buys into. That Donnie never existed because he never interacted. Only Walter talks to him. Except for the one line that does dispute that theory is, your phone's ringing, dude. Thank you, Donnie. That's the only line. And someone had an explanation for a way to bypass that, but whatever. John Goodman does not believe the theory, and no one's asked the Coen brothers yet. But
seems to be the people you should ask.
Seems to be they wrote the damn thing.
Yeah, really.
Why don't you tell us? But yeah, people that travel with their dogs. So anyway. What's his name? High School
John
High.
Lovitz.
John Lovitz mean to everybody, yells at everybody. So he's doing the early show, and I have one headlining set that weekend, which was the Friday late show. So I do that. He leaves the hotel. And it's a small crowd. It's like, I don't know, I got 50 people in there in this big cavernous comedy club. So I tell him, I go, I get to work with Jon Lovitz. And that guy's a douche. Like, that guy, he was so mean to the staff. And I just start, like, telling the story. And the servers are like, yeah, tell the people.
That's great.
And I thought it was like a fun little, it's not like I taped it. I'm not going to put it online. And somehow the next day I come back to do the more shows with him. And I get into the green room. He's like, I've been in an argument with people on Twitter. How the hell do they know I've been yelling at the staff? And I was like, huh? And apparently one or two of the 50 people that came to see me at the late show, like, messaged him on Twitter and were like, what are you doing being jerks to the staff?
I mean,
blah,
maybe
blah,
the
blah.
staff is tweeting about it. Like, did you ever think that it could have been them?
But
So what happened?
He asked me that, and I went, whoa. I don't, whoa.
You have been?
Have you been mean? I mean, that girl did cry. I don't know.
Oh, could it have been the people that left in tears last night
Yeah.
and maybe said something to somebody?
I didn't have the courage to go, yeah. I also didn't have the sway to go, yes, this was me, and then get, in trouble with the club, and maybe I can't work there anymore.
No, you don't want to do
So
that.
I just let it go. I just like, who knows?
I
Who knows?
have a good Jon Lovitz interaction story. Did I ever tell you about this?
This is good because each of us has trashed someone, and then the other person has
stood up for him.
Stood up for him and said, "I actually had a good experience with that guy."
So he was doing the improv, and I was middling.
Yeah.
He also fired the host that weekend. But that was after he went up and bombed. The host ate it, and then didn't.
It's a little
didn't
more
do
fair.
his intro properly, and so he was like, "You're gone." Like it was a very quick firing, but I was like, kind of in charge of taking him around to media and stuff. Like,
you got that job.
Yeah, because I was local. I was in town, so they were like, you do it. It's like, I would love to, but he didn't come with me. He had like a driver, so I just would like show up to be like the liaison or whatever. So we're at a TV station where there's like 5 stations, and we would do each show, right?
Yeah.
And in the green room, there's a lady. I cannot remember her name, but for the sake of this, I always call her Judge Miranda when I tell this show. Because she was doing a judge show. She's like a judge doing a show, Judge Miranda. Sure, Miranda writes. That makes sense. So she's got like 5 people doing her hair and makeup and like this whole thing, and just me and Jon Lovitz. And it's Jon Lovitz, unmistakably Jon Lovitz.
Yes.
If you don't know who he is, you know that is somebody. Because he's just this little weeble that's just sitting in the corner.
He's so funny.
So funny. The doors open into the room that we're in, and people are walking by going like double take, like, oh my God. And so Judge Miranda's sitting there, and she's like, so what are you boys here for? And I never spoke a word. And John goes, we're comedians. And she goes, oh, that's nice. Are you boys more like local or national? And again, it's Jon Lovitz. And he goes, national, I suppose.
National.
And then like she goes to do whatever she's doing, segment or something. And then as people are like, well, finally somebody comes in and goes, I'm so sorry, I'm a huge fan. Can I take a pic? And he's like, absolutely. And he goes out to the door, and every one of the stations taking a picture of him. He accommodates them all.
That's nice.
And then the last one that's going, like, you'll be me. And he's like out the door. He goes like this. He goes, all right, thank you so much. Take that, Judge Miranda. After like 30 minutes of signing autographs and taking pictures, and I was just like, I like died. And I remember in that moment, I am going to remember this moment for the rest of my life. Take that, Judge Miranda.
I love that.
It's so good.
See, we evened it out.
Yeah, evened
Is
out.
he a good person? Is he a bad? Maybe he had a bad day when I worked
people
with
have bad
him. People have bad days. I think he
days.
said something. He's like, the next day, he's like, so-and-so just died. Was that when Saget died?
Could you imagine? That's your bad story. You're like, yeah, that guy's a dick. Oh, his best friend died. Who
Yeah, I
cares?
know. I should have led with that. Maybe he was having a bad day. His friend died. I forget who it was. Someone died. Might have been Saget. Might have been around that time. Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago, though.
Yeah, I don't think it was Saget because that was too soon. I don't know. Maybe he's still not over Phil Hartman. I don't know. I don't know. He was mad about somebody. I think he was whatever. I honestly don't. Maybe he's mad at Andy Dick. He said something about Andy because Andy Dick supplied the drugs to the thing that led to Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, yeah.
But I don't remember.
He's like famously still mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy Dick's a wild child.
Never met him.
This is a good story. Madhouse Comedy Club 2012. They hire Andy Dick and a backup headliner, which I've never seen. Who's Richards? Jeff Richards, who's on SNL and Mad TV. The only person to do both shows.
Never heard of him.
Jeff Richards. He did one season on both. So they hired him to feature, but the idea was, the fear is that Andy Dick's going to be so much of a loose cannon that if he doesn't work out, we have a backup headliner, which I was like, wow.
That's great.
And I show up to the green room, and he has like a musician that's going to play with him on stage, Andy Dick, and he's going to do like fun songs or whatever. They're hammered back there. They puke. One of them gets so drunk, he pukes all over the green room.
The
musicians. They ordered like fish or something, so... I go in there.
Hey, I'm at the Madhouse Comedy. I'm at Yuck Yuck Huts. How's the Bronzino? It said no one ever. Well, that's your fault for ordering fish at a comedy club.
Fish. I think it was more the alcohol, because there was a short time at the Madhouse where they had really good food, which made no sense, and they shouldn't have. Yeah. But like now, the shows are taking too long because like people are ordering a tomahawk steak that's coming from the back and it's all done up.
The Atlanta Improv was owned by the people that in this complex owned all the restaurants, and there was like this incredible sushi chef with like an ice bar and like the whole thing, and so you could get sushi and it was like unbelievable.
And that's great.
Shout out to
but
Steven
also
DeHaan, the guy
not
that
the
used to
right
own
setting
that. Guy
for
got ruled.
Yeah, not the right setting for it.
Yeah,
because now people are like, "This is amazing. I got to listen to this guy."
If you're having to manipulate chopsticks during a comedy show, it's a problem.
Yeah, and the sticks just go flying. But so they eat yaks all over the green room, and then something happened. I was hosting. This is why I was there. Something happened where he got so drunk he got booed off stage,
sure.
and he went up in the middle, and then Jeff Richards closed. This is one of the times where he gets booed off stage, and he and the manager was trying to get his check for the weekend a day early, and the club owner's like, "I'm not giving you this check early
until
we're done with all the shows," and then. Andy Dick's gone. Like, he disappears, and his manager comes up to me. He's like, "Have you seen Andy?" I go, "I don't know."
That's my question for you.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to be the guy?
Yeah, are you supposed to be the guy? And he's like, "No, I haven't seen him." And this was at a time where he was recently charged with, like, assault on a woman, like sexual assault. I think, like, a grabby type situation. Mm-hmm. And so he's loose in the mall. And I have to go up. I remember I had to close the early show by telling people, "Hey, just so you know, Andy Dick is loose in the mall, so be careful once you go back to your cars. He's loose in the mall."
This is after his set?
After his set.
He disappears.
After his middling set, he disappears hammered.
And then Jeff
goes on stage.
Wow.
And then he's loose. And then we have to do the late show, and we still don't know him. He's loose in the mall. We can't find him in this big mall. And so we're doing the late show without him. He ain't there. So Jeff goes on stage to headline. Andy Dick shows back up in a woman's wig, like a long blonde wig, sits at the back bar.
Super into this.
Yeah. Sits at the back bar and he's drinking. He starts heckling Jeff Richards.
This does not make me do anything other than like Andy Dick.
Yes.
Honest to God.
Because Jeff Richards is ripping Andy Dick, and now that's what makes him break character of like hiding with this wig, sipping alcohol.
Oh, so Jeff doesn't know this is
Jeff doesn't know he's back.
That's great.
And so he's talking about, he's like, "Hey, I know," because Jeff Richards has to say something. He's like, "Hey, I know you guys came to see Andy Dick. He's loose in the mall." And so he's ripping on Andy Dick, and then Andy Dick in the back, "I'm still here, a-hole," just yells from the back with a stupid wig. And I'm in the back, the club owner's doing one of these numbers, like, what the hell? Can't go in the green room covered in puke. And the musicians, who knows where they are? They're doing meth with the hobos downstairs. I don't know. And what? Yeah, it was just a disaster.
Did Andy end up going on stage that night?
Yeah, he did not do the late show.
Really?
He did not do the late show.
That's so
I had to do Long as the host, and then it was just me and Jeff Richards. We did a two-man show.
I mean, at the time, that's terrible.
It was a better show.
But, well, not the show, but like the experience was terrible for you to have to deal with that. But now it's like, what a time.
Yeah.
What a thing to have gone through.
I just remembered what I said at the end of one of the shows where they booed Andy Dick off, and when I had to tell people he's loose in the mall, so be careful when you go back to your car. Some people, because I went up and I was like, I was host, I'm closing out the show. I'm like, hey, I hope you guys had a great night. And some people were like, man, they're like mumbling, boo, like, I was like, wait a second. You guys bought a ticket to see a known disaster, someone who's going through a lot in life right now with substance abuse, alcoholism, public outrage. You know what you were coming here to see. And there's a potential he could die very soon, and they're going to interview you for like an True Hollywood story. You saw Andy Dick's last show. You were here for an experience.
Yeah, you showed up knowing that who knows what's going to happen.
Yes.
That's your fault, guys.
You showed up to an experience.
We should charge you extra.
Yeah, I know. We should have a tip bucket out there for Andy Dick's wig person or whoever.
His makeup artist that he travels with.
We should clean it up. But yeah, that was quite the experience. I remember that. You know what I'm going to call this episode? I just realized it because I'm watching
Andy Dick's wig?
I
Andy's dick wig? Sorry. Yeah, you got it.
How about man thighs and Andy Dick's wig?
Oh, God.
Look at these good thigh gammies.
Look at this thing, huh?
Hey.
I thought I had a good tan going, but I am as... you can white balance this
show
with those legarinos.
You could CGI a face on there.
I've been starting to sit like full cross-legged lately.
Yeah, it's a joke.
And I never thought I could or would. This is great.
I have a joke that I just filmed in my newest special, kind of making fun of sitting like this. And but I get it. It's comfortable.
It's so much more comfortable.
You know what? I've done people might know the joke, but it's like I have a joke about not wanting money to change me. Like I always want to sit cross my legs like this because I've noticed the more this knee starts sliding this way, you can actually watch a dude turning evil with money. Like every paycheck that gets bigger, this just starts sliding over, and then pretty soon he's like, just pontificating.
The farther you go, it's like, and kill him.
Yeah. Oh, and then you once it gets to here, I just thought of this because I just realized it. People start to turn a little more, and they're like, we are no longer friends now.
Yeah.
I'm talking to this guy.
Well, this is now. This isn't comfortable here,
right?
But it's more comfortable on my back. So that's why this is like I've come
lower
to this.
back or upper?
Lower back.
Yeah.
This is better for my lower back, and I just cannot sit with 2 feet on the ground. Even under a table, I'll like try to get a cross going because I can't do this. Same thing with hands in pockets. Like if I'm standing up, I gotta have a hand going somewhere.
I have to do. I was trying.
This is a hand in a pocket for me sitting down.
Last night I was waiting for the subway to get back home, and I didn't want to be on my phone all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me just stand here. And then I was just standing there, and I had to do this. I
Yeah.
had to do this, or you do the behind the back like you're 90. But I had to do this, and I'm like, why can't I just let my hands drop? And I realized it's because you look like a psycho.
Yeah.
If you just stand there with your hands straight down, not on your phone, just dead ahead, you're like, that person's going to kill somebody.
That's when people start punching people.
Yeah, that guy's
That's why
insane.
people get in fights in the subway because they're like, I got to do something with my hands.
Yeah,
You're standing there.
Why are you squared up?
Yeah. Hey, you're squared up.
No, I'm just trying
No, I'm saying you're standing like this. It's like, what you want, dude?
These are the hands for like, I'm about to meet the Pope. Like, you put the hands down. You're like, how you doing, Mr. Pope?
Hello, Pope, sir.
Pope Leo. Pope Leo the 15th, which sounds like a hell of an alcohol. That sounds like something top shelf and they bring with
The
sparklers.
smoke comes out when you open it, yeah.
Pope
This
Leo.
comes with the golden steak? All right, that's fine.
We keep it in a cellar we call the Vatican. Pope Leo the 15th, come get it.
We keep it in a city shrouded with gold, although we tell people that we want people not to go hungry. Even though we could solve that just by taking this hat off, selling it. I apologize, this beer has gotten to me. One IPA and now I'm doing religious bits.
People outside the Vatican, sell your hat.
I can't do it, man. I don't know if you want to get into this, but I can't. When watching the whole Pope stuff, like just them walking around shrouded in gold and this and jewelry, and
pageantry,
rubies and meanwhile, people are starving in the streets, but they're the ones being like, "No, we will save." You save nothing.
Right?
Sell your hats. Sell your hats. World hunger saved. Sell your hats. Take your little jewels off, your bedazzled jewels. Save the world. But you don't want to because that's not what it's about. It's about power, money, and control.
Yeah.
Power, control could be the same thing. I'm riffing here.
Well, I mean, we went to. I told the story last
Pull your
on last
Bible out.
week.
Let's just talk about it right now. Get your you don't bring your Bible with you to every podcast?
open.
Check out under your seat. There, go to Leviticus.
We're all part
Section
of
3.
I think we're all part of the problem, and then depending on where you are up the social and financial ladder, you're more of the problem. Like,
Yeah.
like the rent that I pay in San Diego is very high, and it's too high to the point where I told Emma, I was like, we're part of us accepting this rent and paying it, even though we can't afford it. We are now part of the problem because now they're going to set this rent here, and now other houses are going to rent their house for this ridiculous amount that we've agreed to because we really want to live here. So we are all part of the problem. So it's like, what do you do? Do I because I can't afford this house, do we not take it and live in a house that won't be as nice, but now we're not perpetuating this problem? But
somebody will.
Somebody will.
Yeah.
But that's also a cop-out.
Exactly.
Right? Because that's because that idea goes all the way up and goes, well, that other guy who owns a company is also screwing people on this, so why can't I also get in on that? And so, I don't know. We have blood on all of our hands.
Of course.
Some people are covered in it, like Carrie at the end of with the pig's blood or whatever, and they're just like, they have all the blood. But we all got a little blood on our hands.
We're all on native land.
We went to this bakery last week. I talked about it in the last episode in San Diego. If you ever come to San Diego, I'll take you to this bakery. It's very high end. It's very expensive. $9 croissant. It's the best croissant I've ever had in my life.
Is it a $9 croissant?
It's worth it.
Then it's a $9 croissant.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful place. The coffee's amazing. Everything's top-notch delicious, but it is located in the part of downtown San Diego where everybody's homeless. It's all homeless people, high-rise condos, security guards keeping people away so people can come into this nice bakery.
Croissants, yeah.
And so you're just eating nice croissants and high-end coffee while there's like people with no homes, and you're like, it makes you feel guilty because you should feel a little of like, something's not right.
Yeah.
This isn't okay. We're all part of it, a little bit.
Yeah. We're trying to get an apartment. We're trying to move into a new place in the neighborhood, and I'm texting a realtor, and they're like, oh, well, here's this place for $5,000 that has the amenities that you're looking for. And I go, look.
Look. That's always a great way to start a response.
I had to because I wanted to say, here's our budget.
Yeah.
And here's what we want.
Right.
And I know she's going to send back an LOL. Right. But I had to finish that same text with, I've seen other things go for this in that area with these amenities.
Right.
So I know it's possible. Fingers crossed emoji.
Yes.
Because then she can't tell me well, you're not going to get that. Because I know I have. Because my friend just got a place in the exact area we want. Same thing, everything, more than what we're asking for the price we're looking. So don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. I don't know if that's the right phrase.
Yes.
But it's and also the budget we have is insane.
Right.
It's $1,000 more than we're paying right now, and I can't even stomach that.
Right.
And then I'm like, they're going, oof, you're not going to be able to turn around in your bathroom for that money. I'm like, come, just give me something. Just help me out here, man.
Your knees are going to stick out of the doorway when you're sitting on that commode.
How much do I want to be able to order food at midnight, before the city makes me turn on it?
Yeah.
How many Broadway shows do I have to see before I'm like, you know what, I've done it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that'll ever happen.
I mean, you're almost talking about leaving the city.
I can't now because of this.
Well, now you're in.
I'm in.
Yeah, unless you want to commute down.
No, well, from where?
I don't know.
I'd love to make this remote if I could tap in Dr. Evil.
Come in.
My own little chair, looking at everybody. Cameras just tilting like this all day. I love it here. It's just too expensive.
It's very.
And so now I'm, doing everything I can to make.
It's the boat everybody's in. There might be a French the French Revolution. Let them eat cake, and then they just came around with the guillotine and they lobbed everyone's heads off.
Yeah.
I don't know what version. I don't know what the modern version of that is, but the AI thing where I just watched a thing. Obviously, they have Waymos, self-driving Ubers, which will eventually take over. And then, in my head, I'm like, well, that sucks for the people that drive Ubers, but I'm still safe. But then now they have self-driving trucks in Texas, and I'm like, well, that's a real career, being a truck driver. So those people are done. And then Emma sent me a thing where they're people doing surgery through AI, like a computer will do surgery on you. We talked about this on last week's episode.
I'm out on that.
There was a comment from last week's episode
Surgery or
saying
remote? Because that's been around for a while. Where the doctor,
they do the
but
remote.
AI
is going to
just make a decision. And go, that incision a little too deep. He's dead. Kill him.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
But the idea of that means that it's going to be affecting Uber drivers up to like neurosurgeons, and then that means it's everybody. Everyone's job's on the line,
But everyone's
that's
job's on the
when
line.
the French Revolution.
But then if nobody has money because they don't have jobs, we're not going to be buying anything, which means that all this AI advancement is going to be for nothing. Because if anything, at least in America, we are but consumers.
Right.
So if we have no money left to consume, then what are they going to be producing for us to consume?
That's right.
Right.
I just imagine, the universal basic income where they just give you money to be around so you can buy this stuff. But then I guess, I don't know. But I think the best version of the future that I've ever seen is the movie WALL-E, where everyone's just in those. All right. So if you haven't seen it, it's like a trash can. It's a great movie. Trash can, beloved trash can. But it's set in the future, and all Americans are like 400 pounds, and we're all in these like movable hover rounds. And we just hover around to different entertainment things, and we just eat. And I was like, that might be where we're headed.
That's pretty tight.
That's pretty sick.
I don't want to be 400 pounds. I got pretty close. But that does sound pretty cool. If everybody's 400 pounds, that means nobody's 400 pounds, right?
Yes.
If the bar is 400,
yes,
it's pretty good.
Listen, if we're all on the moon, we'd be a different weight, wouldn't we?
Telling you right now, gravity didn't exist, but I tell you what, my feet wouldn't be touching the ground.
If we all have breasts, we don't need bras. I don't even know if that makes sense. But
my grandmother had bicycles, and her dad would what? Get it right, pal.
Well, who knows? I know we speak all doom and gloom, but today I had to kill time because I got kicked out of my hotel at 11. Which is a whole other issue. Checkout was at 10. And I was like, what is this, a Super 8 on the side of the freeway?
What the hell? How many rooms do you have to clean?
Yeah. I think because it was Friday. So what they did is they bumped checkout to 10. And I thought checkout was at noon, and I was going to ask for a 1 p.m. checkout. And then I went downstairs, and I was like, can I get a late checkout? They're like, what are you looking for, like 11? I was like, what? When's checkout? And she's like, 10. I was like, whoa. And she's like,
I got 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. And you know what made me laugh? Her name tag said Karma. And I was like, what? I almost looked at her. I'm like, what did I do?
I mean, you know that checkout is just they deactivate your card.
Yes.
You can stay in that room all day.
Yeah, but
until they come knock. Yeah, but that could be 2 p.m.
That's true.
I like to take it to the limit. I'll just sit in there and wait. I'll just pack everything so that when it's time to go. But then I got a bed I can lay on.
Yep.
TV. I can go to the bathroom. I got my own thing going.
There's
the Wi-Fi still cooks. But once they knock on the door, it's time to go.
It's over.
And if you put the thing out, even after checkout, the do not disturb, they're not even allowed to knock on the door. Legally.
That's true. They came around. These people came around. I think because it's Thursday. I checked in Thursday. Today's Friday. A lot of people are coming in for the weekend.
We went up to where our wedding, we had like hotels, like blocks. And we went up 2 weekends before to do a tasting.
Yeah.
And we stayed in one of the hotels that was like our hotel block. And we showed up at 5 p.m.
That's a check-in.
Beyond, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, beyond. Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, your room's not quite ready yet, but if you want to leave your stuff here," I go,
"It's fine."
What do you mean not ready? It's 5 o'clock. And she goes, "I just had a lot of people do late checkouts. We weren't expecting." And I go, "Well, that's not how that works." I go, "You kick what?" And I go, "It's 2 hours past check-in. If people show up next week or 2 weeks from now for our wedding and they can't get in at 5, they're going to miss the wedding."
Yes.
So does this happen all the time?
Right.
She's like, "No, it's no. I go, "Well, I don't know. You seem pretty casual about it."
Yeah.
You seem like, "Oh, here they go again."
You're also in the mountains.
Also in the mountains.
So like that was when Em and I went upstate, got a hotel last minute because we didn't like the Airbnb. We showed up. There's nobody at the hotel.
Yeah.
All the rooms were open. There's no one at the front desk. We had to call a guy. He showed up in a Jeep, came from like a kayaking trip. And he's like, "Yeah, let me get you a room. It's just not made up yet." And I'm like, "We know. We walked the entire property. Every door's wide open."
We checked all the rooms.
Yeah. They're what? And he's like, "I'll be right back." And then he's clearly like making up the room and then giving us the thing. But
crazy.
That's what but you guys didn't have that issue.
No, I guess not. No, I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
Nobody complains. No one's gonna tell you the truth for a few years. Like I've been divorced. We had a wedding. My wedding to my first wife was in the mountains of San Diego, and it was like a cheap, like it was like rustic cabins. And just recently, my best friend Dane was like, his then girlfriend is like, oh yeah, she got pink eye from that room. And I was like, good Lord, when were you going to tell me that? And he's like, I felt safe now. Like, you guys aren't together anymore. This is a good time. He's like, yeah, she got pink eye from
We like
that.
to call that the practice wife.
Yeah. Yes.
There's the real one, and then there's the practice one.
Way better this time around.
Sounds like
I'm
it.
a lot better of a person, and this is Emma's only marriage. There will be no other for her.
This is her.
That sounded like a threat.
That
the
was
way
really
I say
strange,
that.
yeah.
I meant that we're in love and things are
You
going
do it like
well.
this. You go, this will be her only marriage.
This will be, and then
Slide into your
they're
full
gonna
evil.
play that clip when she, like, if anything ever happens to her, that
At
clip
her second
will be,
bachelorette party, they're going to go, remember this?
watch your back, watch your back, Emma. This guy really said it with a tone.
That's funny.
But yeah, the truth will. If anyone had a bad time with the accommodation, they're not gonna tell you. I mean, some of the comics.
Oh no, I
hold
heard
back.
there was some people were like, "Oh, I couldn't really sleep because a lot of people were sharing. Some of the rooms were like, they're big open cabins. They're like,
Yeah.
there's like 20 beds in a room, basically, type
okay.
of thing. It's like a kids camp.
Yeah.
It's like heavyweights. We had Sean Weiss do a cameo that we emailed all the guests.
That's so cool.
It was like, hi, welcome to Mike and Becca's wedding. It was great. Because if you go swimming,
That's such a deep cut.
if you go swimming, make sure you have a body. It was so much fun.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm getting a spam phone call from Julian, California, which is where the mountain town was where I got married the first time.
Is this live?
Yeah, I didn't know this was live.
That's funny.
That's great. But yeah, Heavyweights, excellent. Judd Apatow movie.
It's his first major motion picture, I believe.
And he hasn't made a good movie since. What
Never
a
once.
magical...
Yeah.
His style of
He
comedy.
went away. He completely disappeared.
disappeared.
One movie and he's done.
I liked Knocked Up, and then every movie since then.
I've been watching Funny People recently because it's about 7 hours long.
It's like two movies that shouldn't be together, and he's like,
But it's
I'm
a good
putting them
movie.
together.
It is
Is
a good
it?
movie. Yeah.
I like the first half. And then the second half where he's chasing this woman because he has terminal whatever. Adam Sandler's great in it.
It's a very long movie. It's an opus a bit, but it's a comedy. It feels like, but I still enjoyed it.
It's good.
Freaks and Geeks was really good.
Freaks and Geeks is great.
Great movie, great show. I mean,
You know who? Because the show's getting rebooted. King of the Hill.
live action.
Could you
That'd be
imagine?
tight.
Could you imagine?
I could. Brendan Sagalow could play Bobby. He'd be perfect for it.
That's so good. I would love that. But no, they're rebooting the cartoon King of the Hill, and so I started rewatch. I've always been a fan of King of the Hill, so I'm now rewatching King of the Hill, and I'm watching season 1, and I was like, you know what the magic of Mike Judge is specifically in that show. And it's why it's a perfect time to reboot the show. He makes fun of both political sides so well. He shows the hypocrisy on both sides so well. And without casting... he is casting judgment, but on both sides. So it's a very in-the-middle show. You can laugh at yourself in the show. You can laugh at the opposition
If you're mad
in the
at
show.
the politics and Mike Judge shows, it's because you aren't comfortable enough with the fact that you are who you are.
Yes.
Because there's no lopside on that show.
No, not at all. Like the episode that it was like the third episode of season 1. They go out, Bobby's in Boy Scouts or something, and they ask John Redcorn, Native American, hey, can you give us some
Just passed away.
Just got shot by his neighbor.
Isn't that crazy?
Insane. What? I didn't even look into it. I just read it. But goes to John Redcorn and asks for like some Native American chant that the kids would enjoy. And so John Redcorn, trying to like be kind and trying to give him the whole history of the chant. He's like, and Hank's like, well, we don't need the whole history. We just want some gobbledygook to feed the kids. so dismissive of his entire heritage or whatever.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah.
All right, I got one for you.
So
Hiya.
So that rips on the conservative side, and then they go, and during the trip, Bobby accidentally kills a like endangered bird, and there's some hippies there, some lefty hippies that are like really into these birds, and they find out this bird's dead, so they like storm over in a mob to go attack them. And while they're storming over, they showed that they like stomped out like a dove's nest on the ground, and they smashed all these eggs. And it's like
liberals, man.
Beautiful show.
It's great. I like casually watched it when I was a kid, but I should go back and start rewatching it. I've watched Entourage probably for the 8th time all the way through. I should choose a new show to watch.
It's a great show to fall asleep to too, because it's funny, but the tone and level of the show is very calm. So it's almost like reading.
I'm genuinely on my 10th or 11th Seinfeld run.
Yeah.
To sleep to. I don't watch that show. I love the show, but I sleep to it. And immediately when I hear, oh, it's a good time, Jerry, I'm like, I'll find myself going to sleep like this, like doing like Kramer's in the...
Have you ever thought that you just need the soundtrack to fall asleep? Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum.
That keeps me awake.
Oh, that part.
If I hear if it's too loud, I'm like, damn it. If I go to sleep immediately with like George goes, let's not get crazy here. I'm out. It's great. Everyone calm down.
There's nothing more comfortable than familiarity.
Oh man, it's great.
Oh, it's like a hug from your mother. It's just like, it's time to sleep. And then you just go down. That's what I love. I love falling asleep to that. How are we doing on...
I don't know. When did we start? I actually don't know.
I think we started on time. We might be an hour in.
I think yeah.
How long does it take to get to New Brunswick?
Hour 15 on the train. And it's like a 4-minute walk from the train to the club.
Yeah, I know, because I took it last time.
Oh, yeah?
And
Yeah.
it was... but this time we're going through Penn Station. I looked on my phone. We could go to Penn Station instead of Port Authority.
Oh, I didn't even... Port Authority's a bus terminal.
Oh, they don't do train there?
No.
Oh.
Just Penn Station. Might have been Moynihan.
Oh, I was talking...
But that's all the same.
Oh, now
I'm thinking Grand Central and Penn Station, maybe.
I'm thinking of a different club.
Oh.
I went to... Because I took the train to New Brunswick last time, but I also did Bananas, which is...
Poughkeepsie. No. It's just on the other side of the river.
Stadium is.
Yeah.
And MetLife.
Yeah, it's in that Holiday Inn or whatever.
Yeah, in the hotel.
I did it last year.
I had to take a bus, so I had to go to Port Authority,
yeah.
and that was a disaster.
No, trains are great. No traffic.
Trains are great.
And we should be able to get NJT, no problem. Just walk on.
I don't know what that means, but
New Jersey Transit.
There you go.
And they're not on strike anymore, so that's good.
Hey! That's excitement. That's excitement, right?
It's an exciting time.
It's going to be a good time. I got a hotel over there.
Sweet.
So you can hang out in the room while I wash my no good, and that's what.
I might go shopping. I need to get a new shirt.
For a show shirt?
No, just a shirt. I need shirts. Now that I'm married, I have to dress better.
Yes. I mean, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know I looked like trash. Also, I want to say this is a callback to the beginning of the episode where you're talking about my glow up. Because a lot of people think Emma had to do with it, but she made suggestions. She never she told me not to cut my hair. She told me not to get rid of the beard. She's like, that's your whole look. What are you doing? And then I got rid of it. She's like, whoa, there's like a handsome guy under there. And I was like, was I not handsome before?
Do you know Zach Martina?
No.
Great comic out of Michigan. He is just like big beard, huge hair. I saw a picture of him without all that, and I was like, you son of a gun.
He's
You're
good looking.
hot. And you're going to cover yourself. Like, this is makeup. This is because I need this. You don't need it. And it really pisses me off. Also because he's hilarious and a great guy, and it just pisses me off that he's got like a dimple on his chin.
Oh.
Yeah, and he hides it.
Man.
He hides it.
Is there ever a way to tell a woman you don't have ED than a dimple in the chin? You're like, this guy has enough testosterone for a family of 12.
Is that what it is? Testosterone? That
I don't know. I think it's it's where your jaw, jaw doesn't connect as a baby, so it always stays there. Look this up. I could be talking out of my ass, but I believe it doesn't form properly, so that's why.
So it's a deformity.
It's a deformity, but it's a handsome.
It's a handsome
deformity.
I'll get one plugged in.
Imagine wishing for a deformity and you wanted that one, but you got the hair lip and you're like,
You got Owen Wilson's nose. And then you become super famous. That'd be pretty tight.
That'd be sick.
Wait, did you finish your Steve Hofstetter story?
Yeah, I just, he was nice to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I said that, and because you had a bad experience, and I was waiting for a bad experience, still waiting. Never had a bad experience with him. And John Lovitz, I had a bad experience, but I guess someone died. And you had a great experience.
Great experience.
Even Steven. We need more podcasts like this in the world where people are like, I'm going to trash this guy, and the other guy's like, I actually have a story to smooth that over. And it's a little more,
You seem like a nice guy.
You seem like a nice guy. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the episode. Yeah. Episode 411 from the studio. We're calling it Man Thighs, Mark. I think that's gonna be the lowest rated episode. We're gonna get 500 views.
I heard if you sit like this, but feet shoot Tootsie's out.
Tootsie's out.
Like shoes and socks off, you get like triple the views because people are sick.
Man.
Yeah. That being said, shoes off, boys.
Good Lord. My feet curl. I'm a curler.
Are you?
Yeah, I think because I'm naturally anxious, but my mom always was like, yeah, ever since you always curl your feet. Sometimes if I don't have shoes on, I'm just somewhere like at the beach, my toes are just curled up like little balls.
I curl them up because I don't want people to see how long my toenails have gotten. I'll do good for a really long time, and then I'll go like an incredibly long time where like they get caught in the sheets at night.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, I'll just like kind of have my toes curled up if my shoes are off because I'm like, oh, it's so embarrassing. Not embarrassing enough to cut them.
No.
But
you forget.
But I'm also a pedicure guy. Like sometimes I just can't get a pedicure, and I'll wait. I walk into the pedicure place like, sorry guys, sorry, I want to apologize for what you're about to have to do. It's gross.
I feel so bad for
I'm too
those
old
people.
for that.
I feel so bad for all of them. Oh, all the people that have to clean the feet. I also don't like the file.
No.
The file on the
the heel?
It's
No,
like
no.
nails on a chalkboard.
You know how long
to me.
I had to work for that?
Oh, you think it's taking away character?
Yeah.
I think it's like it's my ick. I
Sure,
guess it's
sure.
the thing that makes my skin crawl. It's like that is so uncomfortable. But anyway, we got to get to New Jersey. Thanks for listening, subscribing, doing what you do, and cheers, everybody. This has been an episode of Man Thighs.
Brought to you by
Sam Adams.
compression shorts.
Compression.
Chafing up top. Compression shorts.
Trekking heavy or traveling light, there's one thing that's right wherever I go.